Welcome to this video on communicating a next-level service experience. This is one of a series of videos to help us on our journey of delivering next-level service for our customers. Notice that I used the word journey. Next-level service isn't a destination. It's a continuous focus on improving our customer service experience as we help them to achieve their goals. In this video, we will focus on the verbal communication component of next-level service. Specifically, we will look at how our spoken words are an integral part of the next-level service experience. We will look at the relationship between doing the work and communicating about it, and how together they create the experience for the customer. Before we examine communication's role in delivering a next-level service experience, let's take a moment to reflect on what we mean by next-level service. Next-level service is customer-focused as opposed to job-focused. A customer-focused mindset is centered on the customer and their problem, and not the task itself. For example, where the job-focused mindset is intent on repairing the unit, the customer-focused mindset is committed to solving the customer's problem. The difference between these two mindsets can be subtle, but the results significant. With a customer-focused mindset, the FCD representative, who may not be able to immediately address the technical issue they were called upon to address, doesn't stop there. The customer-focused representative puts themselves in the customer's shoes. They inquire to ensure that they fully understand the issue and its cause and look for other ways to solve or at least alleviate the problem. For example, the FCD representative may not be able to provide air conditioning in a building where no air conditioning currently exists, but they may be able to provide other means of cooling or even help the customer find another room. Now, let's review an example showcasing the difference between a job-focused and a customer-focused approach. In the scenario that you're about to see, the craftsperson is sent to investigate a problem. It becomes obvious that the problem requires a completely different skill set, and he's not the right person for the job. Let's watch as he takes a job-focused approach and how it impacts the customer and himself.
Hi, Jennifer. I've had a look at it, and it appears the water is coming from a leak in the roof. You're going to need to call facilities to send you a roofer. The best I can do is grab a bucket to catch the drips.
There must be something more you can do. This is a problem. I mean, what if the bucket overflows? We don't have somebody here overnight that could empty it. This is a mess.
I'm sorry, I can see that this is creating a problem for you, but there's nothing else I can do. You need a roofer, and the quickest way to get this fixed is to contact facilities, and they'll arrange to send someone.
Come on, there must be something you can do to stop the leaking, at least until the roofer arrives.
Jennifer, I know that this must be frustrating for you, but really there's nothing more I can do. I'll go find you a bucket while you call facilities.
I can't believe this. I mean, why can't you guys just call the right person the first time?
This is an example where John views the situation through a job-focused lens. He sees his job as a plumber, and the problem is to fix the leak. Since the repair requires skills he doesn't have, he doesn't see beyond the repair itself to recognize that there's more that could be done to help the customer. Let's look at how John could have approached this issue with a customer-focused service approach.
Hi, Jennifer. I've had a look at it, and it appears the water is coming from a leak in the roof. We're going to need to get a roofer to get this fixed. Also, I brought a bucket to catch the drips.
There must be something more you can do. This is a problem. I mean, what if the bucket overflows? We don't have somebody here overnight that could empty it. This is a mess.
I'm sorry that this has happened, and I can see it's creating a problem for you. And I really want to help you, but you really need a roofing professional. Let me call my office to get a roofer here as quickly as possible.
Why can't your office just get the right person the first time? Come on, there must be something you can do to stop the leaking, just until the roofer arrives.
Well, I can't fix the leak, but I can reduce your inconvenience. I can put a small gutter in the ceiling to divert the water to the other side of the office, so the drips are away from where the action is. Also, I'll arrange to get a larger bucket. And just to be safe, I'll have a shift engineer drop by and empty the bucket and just check to make sure everything's all right.
Okay, what if the leak gets worse?
Based on what I've seen, I doubt it's going to get worse before this gets fixed. But if it does, the best thing to do is to contact my office at an extension 8777. We have people on staff around the clock to help you. Also, I'll arrange to get a plastic sheeting to put over the desk, just in case there's a problem during the night. At least it'll keep your work dry. But before we do anything else, I'm going to call my office and have them get a roofer scheduled. Once I have some timelines, I'll know a little bit better when to expect someone.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate you helping out with this.
You're welcome. I'm really sorry this has happened, but we're going to do the best we can to get things back to normal as soon as possible. Okay.
Notice that although John isn't in a position to correct the leaking roof, he can and does take action to reduce the impact of the issue until the leak can be corrected. He offers to make a call to facilities to get the right person on the job as soon as possible. He then undertakes a number of steps to reduce the inconvenience and the customer's stress. The problem itself hasn't gone away, but the customer feels more assured that everything is under control and the leak will be repaired. She expresses her appreciation to John and will feel much better about dealing with facilities the next time. Although a customer-focused approach to addressing the needs of our customers is the objective of our service activities, it's not the only component that contributes to the next level service experience. Communication plays an integral role. Our solutions are largely intangible, and our customers can't directly see the quality behind the work that we do. They can't see inside our heads as we reach back into our experience to recognize the real but hidden cause of the failure. They may not appreciate the fact that we were able to quickly answer their questions because we've worked hard to cultivate a network of contacts within the organization in order to know who to go to for the answer and how to immediately reach them. Despite the fact that our customers can't directly assess the value based on the quality of the service alone, they do make judgments about the service quality. That's where communication comes in. Our customers evaluate service quality largely by relying on how we communicate with them. Even if we deliver a customer-focused solution that's truly next level, the customer will depend on what we say and what we write to feel a next level service experience. We can't be great communicators and deliver a poor service and expect to create a next level service experience, but neither can we deliver a great service while poorly communicating with the customer and still expect to create a next level service experience. Doing the work and communicating the work are inseparable components of next level service. Both a customer-focused service approach and a correspondingly excellent communication are necessary components of reliably delivering a next level service experience. When our communication is consistent in quality and tone with the excellent customer-focused service we provide, we call it next level communication. That's why next level communication is an integral component of next level service. It's rare, if not impossible, for the customer to experience our service at the next level if we don't communicate effectively. Next level communication delivers 3 benefits, which we call ARC. Accurately transfers information, reflects positively on the sender, creates assurance for the receiver. Let's look at each of these in turn. Next level communication accurately transfers information. Obviously, our intent in communicating with others is to transfer information. The challenge is transferring that information accurately. It's not as easy as it may seem. Try the following experiment. Think about a pair of work boots. Take a moment to write down clear instructions for how to tie the laces of the work boots for people who haven't worn work boots before. Carefully record all the necessary steps. Now pass your instructions on to someone else to execute. Tell them that they must do exactly as the instructions say without deviation. Explain that you're unable to provide any further explanation. Watch them as they work to tie the work boots up. How'd they do? Chances are they ran into some trouble as they interpreted your instructions. If you had the chance, would you rewrite some of the instructions to be clearer? The purpose of this exercise is to help us to realize that communication isn't always as straightforward as it may appear. When communicating with the customer, it's helpful to think about what contributes to accuracy. These include content, speaking at the customer's level, the limited use of terminology and/or acronyms that may be unfamiliar to the customer, and so on. Next level communication reflects positively on the sender. Through our communication, we want to ensure that the customer recognizes our contribution to solving the problem. We want them to appreciate that they're dealing with a professional who's empathetic to their situation and is competent to solve the problem. Consider what contributes to this. Our language is important. If we use language that is inappropriate for the situation, then this won't reflect positively on us. But there are other factors that contribute to a positive reflection on us. The quality of the spoken word and how those words fit within the context of speaking them. the projection of confidence and competence through our words and our posture, the evidence of empathy in what we say are all examples of less obvious contributors. Next level communication creates assurance for the receiver. Whatever we say that reflects positively on us will also contribute to the customer's feeling of assurance. Think about a recent service that you received where you felt reassured by the other party. What did they say or what did they write that contributed to your assurance? Chances are they were very professional. They were confident that they could attend to your needs. They showed that they cared and used definite language like, "We can do it," or "I'll get right on it," and so on. Now let's consider an example of how verbal communication impacts the customer's next level service experience. You're about to see an FCD employee named Tom meet with Danielle, who's the manager of the Student Health Services. They're meeting to discuss a renovation plan for the Student Health Services area in Building SE16. The objectives of the renovation are to reduce congestion in the waiting area and provide a more comfortable and relaxed environment for students waiting for medical assistance. Tom has been assigned to lead the project. The original project concept was the idea of a Student Health Services staff member named Maggie. It didn't take long for Maggie to convince Danielle of the value of the recommended changes. After working out some of the details together, Danielle asked Maggie to lead the project request on behalf of the department. Maggie has completed the required space planning new installation request form, and the project services director has approved it. The project services director has assigned the project to Tom, who will lead the initiative. He meets with Danielle to discuss the renovation and to begin the process. Danielle is excited about the project and is anxious to move on to the next step. She's arranged for Maggie to be part of the meeting with Tom. Her plan is to host the first meeting and get an understanding of how the project will unfold, and then leave it to Maggie to deal with the day-to-day requirements to execute the project. Most importantly, by the end of the meeting, she wants to feel comfortable about the project and the process, and that Maggie will be well supported. Tom has been delayed and arrives about 60 minutes late. Before you watch the interaction take place, I want you to think about the situation that I've described. Put yourself in the position of the manager, Danielle. You've never done anything like this before. You're nervous about the process and you feel that you're a bit out of depth. Your staff are excited about the improvements and you feel a bit pressured to get everything right. Although this is a great opportunity for Maggie to gain valuable work experience, it's important for you that she has a positive outcome from this. Your fears include that the project becomes so complicated that Maggie is overwhelmed and it becomes a very negative experience. That important design considerations get overlooked and detract from the final functionality of the renovation itself. That the budgeting and approval process gets messed up so that the final approvals get delayed or even denied. That an unanticipated avoidable issue arises midway through the project that'll significantly increase the cost. Stop the video now and write down a list of characteristics that you'd want Tom, as the FCD project lead for the initiative, to exhibit if you were the customer in this situation. When you've completed the exercise, restart the video.
Hi, I've been assigned to your new installation request I'm here to discuss.
Oh, I didn't think you were actually coming.
What do you mean?
Well, you were supposed to be here, I think, an hour ago, so. In any case, Maggie, my staff member, who's meant to be here, she's gone home for the day, so I'll just have to try to do my best without her.
I'm sorry, it couldn't be helped. I had an emergency call to the bookstore. Anyway, I'm here now. What can I do for you?
Well, we've had initial approval from space planning to revamp the waiting area here at Student Health Services. Again, it's too bad Maggie's not here because she's really been planning all of it, like she has all the correct information, but we just want to create a warm, more comfortable environment for everybody.
So, what do you need from me?
Well, I'm hoping to talk to someone who knows what they're doing, right? Like, I've never done anything like this before. So I was hoping you could help me just figure out how to get the ball rolling. And of course, we just want to avoid any problems down the line. So maybe kind of some advanced planning as well. Anyway, in a nutshell, what we're kind of thinking, so the reception desk over here, it'd be great to move it maybe kind of in this general area, you know, just to separate the people who've already checked in versus people who are arriving. So this door, it'd be good moving that as well, actually, just to kind of change the flow of traffic, you know. So I kind of just want to separate people who are coming in versus people who've checked in, you know, give people a little bit more privacy. And you know what? I feel carpeting would be a good idea. It's kind of noisy when people are coming in and out all day. I think a carpet would kind of just help eliminate some of that noise. You know, does that make sense?
Boy, that seems like an awful lot of work. I'm not even sure if it's possible. Well, I'll have to take a look at the existing drawings to see if we can change that door location. That could be a load-bearing wall. I wouldn't be surprised if there's asbestos in the walls. Now, moving the reception area shouldn't be too bad. You'll need an electrician, a carpenter or two. And you'll have to consider the lighting. It'll likely change based on the new layout. Are you sure you want to install carpeting here? That'll mean a lot more time cleaning, and you know what students can be like. They're always spilling their coffee all over the place and leaving trash here and there. Students can be a nightmare on carpets. I don't know, is it really worth all that effort?
Have you been here during the day? Like, it's actually quite chaotic. Like, all we're trying to do, again, is create a warmer environment for everybody. Okay, and look, this is just the beginning stages. Like, we still have to see if we can get funding and make more planning. Like, I'm just trying to get more information from someone who knows a little bit more about this. Like, again, we just want to make a more comfortable space for everybody.
Well, I'm not really sure I can be much more help until you're a little further along in your planning. It's too bad Maggie left work. It would have been good to hear the whole story. Well, even if she had printed out and left for you the approved new installation request with supporting documentation, that would have helped. Oh, FYI, I'm on vacation next week for 3 weeks, so have Maggie contact me when I return.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Well, how did you feel about the interaction that just took place? Recall that the customer's primary goal for the meeting was to feel comfortable about the project and the process and to feel that Maggie will be well supported. How well do you think that goal was achieved? Thinking specifically about Tom, how does his words contribute to creating a next-level service experience? Let's consider how Tom communicated with the customer. First of all, he was late, and he didn't call the customer to provide advance warning. This showed a lack of empathy for the customer's situation and put the customer at a disadvantage. Tom also used the word you when describing the project rather than the word we. This too suggests a lack of empathy and perhaps even an unwillingness to take any ownership of the results. But these actions might have shown more than that. If Tom, as project lead, lacks empathy for the customer's situation for this meeting, what might it say about how he'll interact with the customer during the project? Tom appeared to have a negative attitude about the project. He mentioned that there could be a number of reasons why the customer couldn't do what they'd like to do. These may be very real concerns, but the way that he raised them suggests he's not personally very interested in the project itself. What does that say about the amount of enthusiasm and creativity that Danielle can expect from Tom while the project is underway? Tom made it clear that there was little to be done at this time without Maggie's input, and then he casually advised that he's going on vacation. He took no initiative here to explore if some aspects of the project planning could be started before he left in order to save time. Perhaps nothing could be done at this point, but the fact that he made no effort whatsoever suggests that the customer's needs were of little importance to him. So, even if he did all that he could do under the circumstances, which is debatable, did he deliver what the customer was looking for? That is, assurance that the project and the process were in good hands. Did he deliver next-level service? Now think about the characteristics that you wrote down before viewing the video. How many of those characteristics did Tom, as the FCD leader of the project, exhibit? Now let's look at how Tom's communication with the customer can change the service experience to a next-level one. As you watch this video, think back again to those characteristics that you identified that you'd want the leader of a project such as this to exhibit, and assess how well Tom meets your expectations.
Excuse me, Danielle?
Oh, yes.
Hi, I'm Tom from Facilities. I've been assigned to manage the process and carry your new installation request forward.
Yes, great. I'm so happy you're here.
I apologize for being late.
Oh, it's okay. I appreciate that you gave me a call. As I mentioned, Maggie has left for the day. However, I did take your suggestion and I printed off the new installation request. So hopefully we can kind of get things started a little bit without her.
I appreciate that. Now, based on what I could gather from the new installation request, I was able to take a quick look at the drawings of the area to familiarize myself with the space before I came. What can I do for you?
Well, we're still at the early stages of planning. However, we want to make some physical changes here at the waiting area at Student Health Services. It was actually Maggie's original idea to do all this, so now we're really excited to just create a really comfortable environment for everybody.
I think that's a great idea. And based on what I read of the new installation request, it's a very practical plan. I can understand why it was approved. But before we move forward with the next steps, do you have any questions about the scope of work requested in the new installation request?
Well, mostly we're just hoping to get some advice on how to actually get this all started and also how to maybe avoid any possible problems down the line, right? I mean, I'm sure Maggie has all of this information, but if you could just go over that process for me, that would be great.
Well, we're at the stage now where we're going to form the project charter.
Okay.
Don't worry, I'll walk you through it.
Oh, great.
The first step is verifying the scope of work. Now, since Maggie's away, you and I can define the scope that we know, and then Maggie can review at a later date. And once the scope is defined, we can then reach out to the necessary consultants and contractors for design recommendations, process drawings, estimate the cost, that sort of thing, and ultimately produce the project identification report, the PIR.
Okay, great. Yeah, that makes sense. So in terms of the actual changes we'd like to do, okay, so first, the reception desk over here, we're thinking about moving it over in this area. We'd like to separate the people who have already checked in versus people who are coming in. You know, just give those who are waiting a little bit more privacy. Secondly, okay, so the door over here, we're thinking of moving it over in this area. Again, just creating that separation. Like people who are waiting should just feel a little bit more comfortable and have that privacy, you know? And lastly, oh yes, okay, carpeting. There's a lot of foot traffic here throughout the day, so we're thinking that carpeting might eliminate a lot of unnecessary noise. So, like, what do you think about all of this?
Well, I don't have all the answers for you at this point, but I think I can steer you in the right direction. Here are some thoughts that come to mind.
Sure.
Firstly, now, if we intend on moving this reception area over here, we're going to have to consider to make sure that that area has the adequate power. You know, the correct number of electrical outlets and that
Of course,
sort of thing.
yes. Okay.
And also for lighting, if you've ever wanted to dim the reception lights from the desk instead of the wall over there, we can make that happen. We can put that into the plan. And speaking of lighting, you have a big light over the reception desk now, and that won't be the case if we move it over there.
Okay, good to know. What about the door?
Moving the door shouldn't be a problem. From what I can see in the drawings, it's not a load-bearing wall, and everything else that I can see, there's no piping or anything else within the wall, so we can do that. We'll get that checked out, though, when we prepare the budgeting analysis.
Perfect. Okay, just hang on while I take some notes here. This is very helpful. Thanks. What do you think about the carpet idea?
Actually, I like that idea.
Yeah?
You know, I think you're right. It's going to warm up the area and cut back on the noise.
Okay.
The only problem is that it's difficult to keep clean. You know, now I know someone at facilities who could possibly recommend some different options aside from carpeting that'll achieve the same effect, but will be easier to maintain.
Great.
I'll get in touch with Wendy. She can put a list together, and we can include that in the PIR.
Perfect. That would be great. Thank you. I think that covers my list.
Okay. Oh, one more thing. I'm going on vacation next week for 3 weeks, so I will fill out the project charter with the information that we've confirmed here today at our meeting. And then I'll reach out directly to Maggie, keep her in the loop. And I'll also approach a few consultants and start the process and get the fee proposals of the design of your space. By the time I get back, we should be well underway to completing the project charter.
Great.
Once complete, I'll return it to you and Maggie for sign-off, and when that's completed, we'll issue the purchase order and proceed with the PIR.
Great.
Okay. Oh, now, if something comes up while I'm away, you can contact Cindy at 6581. I'll brief her on the project so she can answer any questions you might happen to have, and I'll send you her contact information when I get back to the office.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Tom. I really appreciate your help.
I've been happy to help. Here's my business card.
Perfect.
Feel free to give me a call anytime if you have any questions.
Great. Thank you very much. Okay.
Let's look at those qualities that Tom exhibited through his conversation with Danielle. Notice how he showed empathy with the customer before he even turned up at her office. He did this by calling in advance to advise her that he'd be late. He prompted her to get the information that she needed to prepare for the meeting. He also showed empathy by asking if she had any questions about the scope of the work requested in the new installation request. This opened up the opportunity for him to explain the process to her so that she had a better perspective of what to expect. Tom shared the customer's enthusiasm for the project, and this showed his interest and indicated that he'll be a keen partner as they work together in the future. This is also reinforced by the fact that Tom used the word we instead of you when discussing the project. He also took steps to minimize the impact of his vacation on the schedule of the project, showing empathy for the customer and of appreciation of her needs. Now think back to the customer's key goal for this meeting. She wanted to come away feeling comfortable about the project and the process. Do you think that she feels that she and Maggie are in good hands as a result of this meeting with Tom? Do you feel that she's less concerned about the possibility of putting her staff into a negative situation? If you were the customer, do you feel that the Tom depicted in this scenario will better serve you? Now, in truth, we don't know if the Tom in the second video will do a better job of leading the project than the Tom in the first one. but how he's communicated with the customer suggests that he will. You can also expect that if problems do arise during the project, the customer will be more likely to give the benefit of the doubt to the second Tom than to the first. To deliver service at the next level requires doing a great job and communicating about it effectively. Both components are necessary. We can't be great communicators and deliver a poor service and expect to create a next level service experience. But neither can we deliver a great service and poorly communicate with the customer and still expect to deliver a next level service experience. Doing the work and communicating about the work are inseparable components of next level service. Both a customer-focused service approach and a correspondingly excellent communication are necessary components of consistently delivering a next level service experience. When our spoken words are consistent in quality and tone with the excellent customer-focused service we provide, we call it next level communication. Recall that next level communication delivers 3 benefits, which we call ARC. Accurately transfers information, reflects positively on the sender, and creates assurance for the receiver. Every opportunity to communicate with the customer is an opportunity to create a next level service experience. We work hard to deliver our service at the next level. It's our responsibility to ensure that the customer knows this and experiences our next level service through our spoken words. Our customers deserve nothing less, and frankly, nor do we.